Time to go in the dugout, sponsored by the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. We're talking with not only a legendary coach this year, but he's coaching a team that's red hot right now. This is Goodrich head coach Bob Foreback. Coach, really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
All right, so correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes, however, Max Preps or whoever updates stats or whatever, I saw that it said the Martians were 21-0, 13-0 in the Flint Metro League. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Wow, that's the best start for a Goodrich team ever, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 12-0 was our previous best start in school history, so we've kind of shattered that. And
Yeah.
hope we-
So how would you, figure, this great start for you guys?
Well, it's tough because sometimes, every team gears up for their league competition, and sometimes in your non-league competition on Saturdays or on Fridays, it's hard to stay motivated. But the difference between this team and other teams that I've had, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We could be playing somebody that's 1-10 or somebody that's 10-0, and they go out and they can get themselves focused. It's not me, because I've had teams in the past where I try to motivate them and I can't.
Right.
It's really a difference with this team from other teams, is they're self-motivators and they're competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all you can ask for, is no doubt about it. Certainly makes the job a lot more fun when the guys are out there motivating themselves. You've coached for 27 years, I believe, at Goodrich. What has kept you at Goodrich all these years?
It's a great place. It's a great place to not only coach baseball, but I'm the counselor here at the high school. And, I moved into the community and I'm a part of the community. So it wasn't a stepping stone. It was just a place where, I wanted to raise my kids and be a part of the school system.
That's right. As we hear the bell in between classes and things, we know where you are. Was there ever a desire or, an exploratory thing at all for you that, hey, maybe would the next level, would college be something I'm interested in? Or was it just always like, I love what I'm doing, this is where I want to be?
I think most coaches, if they have an opportunity to do that, they think about it. But there have been a couple opportunities to go to a community college and help out. That's kind of what you have to do in the baseball circles. You have to kind of know somebody and get in. And I thought about it once, and then I talked to my dad, who had the same situation. He was a basketball coach for 30 years, and he had the same decision to make. And he just said, it depends what you want. You're gonna
Right.
If you want to move up, you have to go around, and you have to travel might have to travel the state or travel the country to move up in the coaching ranks. And I wasn't willing to do that with my family, so I just decided Goodrich is going to be the place where I'm staying.
Yeah, I mean, it's like me here. I know that ESPN and NFL Network, they come calling all the time. But I'm like, listen, guys, I'm happy at state champs. So just understand. I'm just throwing that out there. Just having fun. We're talking with Coach Bob Foreback of Goodrich. And, Coach, you're already a Hall of Famer, inducted back in 2017 by the Coaches Association. You now have over 700 wins, which makes you top 20 of all time here in Michigan high school. It's a great milestone. I know you've had a lot of help to help get you here over the years.
Absolutely. It's not just assistant coaches, but really the family members. I can't tell you, every coach can tell you, I have so many dads that have taken their kids to camps, clinics, summer ball, driven them around the state. Moms also, so I don't want to, moms play an important role, but a lot of times it's the dads that are coaching the teams that are doing all the travel. Mom's the one that takes care of the kids, and dad and spends their summer sacrificing, and then it looks good on me when they come out and know how to play.
Well, I'm sure there's some young coaches who are watching and really are just striving for consistency, in a program. And obviously, for you to get 700 wins, you do a fair amount of winning every season. And this is with new kids coming in, virtually every year. So what would you say are some of the secrets for balance for a program so that you can have, some at least moderate success year in, year out and keep these kids engaged in baseball?
Well, if you can get a little bit of exposure to the younger levels, we started a travel program, locally with our kids. A lot of the travel programs are, all-star teams from all around. We have, the Goodrich Thunder travel program are basically Goodrich kids. And when we started it, we said you have to have 60% of your kids have to be from Goodrich to be able to participate, because we wanted the core kids to benefit, as
Right.
opposed to, some programs. And that's great when we have some kids that go play on other programs. But I think that's helped out a lot because there's that consistency. And in fact, I coached probably at least of my 17 kids on my team, 10 of them in coach pitch and T-ball and all the way up through. So I think that's helped a little bit too, because they kind of know what I expect.
One of the things I thought that was really neat that I read about is the fact that you have former players come back to games, quite frequently, and be in the dugout. Talk about what that means to you, and also the guys on the team every year to hear from those who played for you whenever.
Well, as all those former players can tell you, unfortunately, we haven't won a state championship yet.
Right.
But when we talk out in right field after we lose in the playoffs, I invite back. I said, it doesn't matter if it's 10 years from now or 20 years from now, you can walk in my dugout. I said, you have to know I'm going to be happy to see you. I'm going to shake your hand, but then I'm going to coach the game. So we're not going to be able to chit chat. We're not going to be able to talk, but you're always welcome. And they do. They come in. I just had one on Monday. Actually, he came home from college. He's playing at Albion, and He walked in. I gave him a hug. And then I turned around and started coaching the game. Sometimes I feel a little guilty that I can't sit and talk to him, but I'll talk to him after the game. They all kind of know that, so it's really good to see him come back.
And I think for a lot of them, they just want to be a part of it again. High school is so special, even for those who move on, maybe even especially those who move on and play at the next level. It becomes really more of a business. There's such a schedule and a rigidity to so much of what happens at the next level. High school was really that time that you treasure, maybe even more once it's, not a part of you anymore. I know that you've spent time coaching at your high school alma mater, Ovid Elsie. You've spent time coaching at Holly High School. You've been both a basketball and a baseball coach during your time at Goodrich. And you kind of alluded to this. You guys have won a lot of league titles, including last year. But it's been over a decade since you've been able to get beyond regionals. And I'm not jinxing anything. I don't want to do that here in this conversation. But talk about some of the guys on your team that you depend on, maybe some of the leaders that you have right now that maybe can help account for why you guys are doing so well as a group. And I'm always open to giving them a shout out because, your team has been playing tremendous baseball.
Well, Noah Keller's our heart and soul. He's going to Cornell next year. He's just an outstanding, not only player, but person. He's one of my captains, and he's played for me since he was a freshman. I haven't had many freshmen starting pitchers, but he was the number 2 pitcher in 9th grade and probably could have been the number 1, but we had to keep him humble back there in 9th grade. So like I said, he's been with me for 4 years, and he's the one that gets them ready to go. He's the one that, gets them focused. I do my best to help out, but really if you don't have a good captain, it's tough. Joey Bellinger's my second captain, same thing. Those 2 guys together, get them ready for games, get them focused, and that's a huge key. My catcher, Carson Rather, is only a sophomore, but he's going to make some noise, I think, in the state. He just picked 3 guys off from behind home plate in our game on Monday. Nice. I'm not talking stolen bases. I mean, guys, when they're not paying attention, if you put your head down, he'll throw behind a runner, and I think 3 in a doubleheader. I don't know that I've had that before. I was trying to coach a lot of years, but that's pretty rare because usually a catcher throws behind a runner and the rest of the runners pay attention, but he got him 3 times on Monday.
Wow, I can guarantee you that that team was running after that game. That's for sure. Coach, you can let that happen once. You let that happen 3 times. That's a pattern, no doubt. But yeah, no, absolutely. Those are little keys to the game that, and again, from a momentum perspective, just fires everyone up so immensely that it just gives everybody a lift. State Champs is going to be live streaming the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches All-Star Game this year, Monday, June 20th at Comerica Park. There's going to be 2 this year, so a game at 4:30 and a game at 7. So not just a lot of the D1 kids, who usually perform in that game. There'll be some other opportunities for other players, especially seniors, who are going to get a chance to take a few swings at the home of the Tigers. So a lot more opportunity for players having 4 teams. Great idea, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The more kids you can get involved, there's a lot of quality baseball players out there. And I had the privilege of coaching, I think it was in 2010, I got to coach that game. And sitting down trying to look through the applications, there were some really good baseball players that didn't get the opportunity. And so I think that's fantastic. And it'll be good baseball, because that's the thing that surprised me the most, was the quality. When you get those top tier players all together, it's a fun thing to watch.
We always like to wrap our conversations talking a little bit about the Coaches Association. They're the ones who have helped us make these interviews and these segments possible this season. Your feelings on the group as a whole, the Baseball Coaches Association? Obviously, you've been involved with them for a long time.
I think it's one of the best organizations. I've done a little bit with the basketball and the football and golf. I actually coach golf for a couple seasons, okay. JV golf. And I think our Baseball Coaches Association goes out of their way to do good things for kids, and they're very involved, and they do a lot with the rankings and giving exposure to high school baseball players, and I think they do a phenomenal job.
All right. Well, Goodrich head coach Bob Foreback, we appreciate you so much for joining us in the dugout, and good luck the rest of the season. We're going to have to get some cameras out to a game and see your team in action. So thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Thanks for having me.